In this Spiritual BS series, I seek to uncover the various concepts, notions, and ideas that I find pervading the spiritual community and I just can't stand. And for good reason, because they are, a lot of the time, misguided. They are garbage. And for this one, it is going to be major. Because we're going to be talking about incarnation, reincarnation, karmic imprints, the entirety of the soul aspect, as well as the astral plane, near-death experiences, pre-birth memories, life between life regression sessions, all this stuff bundled together, because this video is going to relay to you, or really to inform you, that you've been lied to so extensively. I can't begin to name the amounts of people and times that I've been told this place is a school. This place is a playground for consciousness to explore itself in itself, as though God needed to know anything about limitation. And even if we go about this at the soul level, that our soul needs to learn what it means to be limited, what it means to have a human experience, what it means to emote, to have experience in this plane altogether. Because when you look into these accounts from people having had near-death experiences, life between life regression, pre-birth memories, they all seemingly overlap. At least 95% of them overlap in the same way. And so we can predictably determine that, yeah, there is some facts behind what people experience and report time and time again. There is in fact something here. There is something valid to what these people report. And what they are experiencing, this other realm, this realm that predates or lies just beyond the veil of this one, is the astral plane, is the so-called spirit realm. I don't like to call it that. I like to call it what it is, the astral plane. And the astral plane is something that so many people try to access through astral projection, through all sorts of means, psychedelics, you name it, right? And the astral plane is, if we say that this incarnation, this world, this experience as a human being, it is like being in a prison cell. Well, the astral plane is like the prison corridor. You're still behind bars, my friend. You're still locked up. It is still confined. It is still limiting. There is still hierarchy. There is still control. There are still slave masters, as there is in this world. It is a direct copy of this realm, of the control systems that we see in place here on Earth. It is no different. It is shrouded in this veil of love and peace and tranquility and, oh, my spirit guides, my soul friend, my soul family, all this, oh, so nice and goody shoe stuff, which is, when you see past the emotion that you are just bombarded with, what you find is hierarchy, control, mind control, enslavement, indoctrination. It is preposterous what is going on in the spirit world. And so when you go to the spirit world after completing this incarnation, which, mind you, the spirit guides and the elders, the council members, chose for you. Sure, they might have given you option A, B, and C, but who chose those three options for you? They did. They did. And you simply, it is sort of like, yeah, you have the choice of being in this prison, that prison, or the third prison. Which one do you want to go to? Well, what about none of them? But due to the conditioning, the mind control, the hypnosis that our souls are infected by, we don't have the clarity. We are misguided. We are so clouded in our way due to this love bombing that is present in the spirit realm. And for that reason, we don't stop to question these spirit guides. And if we do, if we are rambunctious little souls that just want to have our way, You know what happens to souls like that in the spirit realm? They are wiped. They are washed clean of their tendencies, right? It is not a place to question authority, just like this realm. You are in no position to question the slave masters who have done millions of incarnations before you to gain the purity to be able to level up to their degree. And how iconic is that? That someone who has had, supposedly that is, we can't know this for sure, but the whole principle in this realm is that you have to incarnate to purify yourself to such an extent that you can then yourself become a spirit guide. And when you perhaps guide countless spirits through this enslavement system, you may one day, in the grand future of things, become a council member. How fucking ridiculous is that? So what we're being told or informed here of this realm is that if we submit to the mind control program, if we become council members, spirit guides, if we become conduits for mind controlling other unfortunate souls, we can perhaps level up ourselves. It is a disgusting system. And it is the same as it is in this worldly system. If you kiss ass all the way through, if you're willing to step on others and do what is told of you, and just follow suit with the system, you are guaranteed to have a nice paid promotion, to have a good job and position and be higher ranking in this society. But why would you want the fruits of a poison tree? Why would you want to entertain this system of entrapment? Because you see, when you have these lives selected for you by the council members, your spirit guides, your memory was wiped. You were told you had to go here to learn, to make up for your previous karmic incarnations, your imprints, right? You had to make up for something. You had to learn to be better, to be a better human, whatever that means. And for this reason, you are apparently memory wiped, because we can't have it that you know anything about your prior knowledge, we can't have it that you know about your karmic imprints and what you need to learn. Because, my God, what if you actually knew this was all a freaking trap? What if you found out that you are just incarnating here countless times for the same BS over and over, having to repeat the same shite? What is the point? What is the point? And what is the point of being memory wiped? Because if this were in fact a school, right? You would go through high school, you would remember everything from high school going to college, remember everything from college going to university, remember everything from that going into the work field, right? You would retain all of your knowledge all throughout. But how can you learn anything if once you graduate, you forget everything? Once you leave this incarnation, ready for the next one, ready to upgrade to a better life, a new life, whatever life in the future, you are forgetting everything that you knew prior to that. You are an infant in a world that you know nothing about. You are an infant with no capacity to remember any of what you really are. We don't know our own nature coming into this world. We are deluded into this trap of forgetting everything, of thinking that we are this limited little human being, these frail little things that have no connection to anything. We are completely made to believe that we are so separate from Source. And so many people in the spiritual community are fixated on this realm and also the spirit realm. They are sufficient, they are satisfied in only thinking themselves in terms of being a soul, in only thinking themselves in terms of reincarnating continually. And the amounts of people I come across that are star seeds, they're from this star system, from that one, they have done multiple incarnations, they remember all this stuff about whatever has been in the past, but they still believe themselves to be poor little me, to be grand me in the soul sense of things, but still incarnating into form over and over. It is ridiculous because what you are as awareness does not die. It is not born. It is not incarnating. It lies prior to this entire mechanism. Because what this spirit realm is, what this realm is, the human worldly realm is really just a defilement of source. It is a copy, it is a fabrication, it is a soul matrix to entrap your limited sense of being, mind you. Because in order to really enter this snare, this soul snare, if you will, you had to limit yourself in the first place. And by limiting yourself, you open yourself up to being manipulated, to being lied to being misguided by these other entities that have only one purpose in mind. And that purpose is to harvest your energy, is to continually perpetuate this game of suffering through karmic lessons so that you can keep coming back here, keep suffering for your previous wrongdoings in a perpetual loop to try and make up for whatever they forced upon you in the past, so that you can keep suffering, they can keep feeding on your energy, and they can keep you coming back because you still believe that you have something to make up for. You still believe that you are here to learn. You are not here to learn. You are here to discover the truth. And the truth is that you are much more than you have ever been told. You are beyond this entire system. You are beyond all the realms that you can ever conceive, because whatever you can conceive is simply what you can believe in the confinements of your imposed limitations that you have adopted, that you have been mind controlled to believe. And this entire belief system just begins to crumble when you have a single glimpse of the fact that you are more. Awareness is untouched, is unfazed by, cannot be controlled or manipulated in any way. Awareness, source, the absolute, is indescribable. And the fact that we can describe the soul, we can describe the spirit, enslavement masters, the council, dumbasses, means that they are fabrications, they are limited, they are really nothing at all. And by seeing past these illusions, and that is not an easy process, it might require extensive inner work, because wherever you still have hooks latched onto you of believing yourself to be this limited little persona, this limited little soul, that yeah, you might need to unplug all these little hooks from your entire system, from your entire being. And by way of doing that work, you are freeing yourself of all attachment points where your spirit slave masters might catch you when you leave this realm. And so we are gifted the opportunity of being able to discover that, to undo what has been done to us, and to even go beyond the need to unplug anything, to go beyond the need to change or correct or to do anything whatsoever. Because by abiding in, by realizing our intrinsic nature, by recognizing that we are aware of being aware, here, now, available, at all times, in all experiences, in the midst of all experience, you are free. And that this is the ultimate. This is the freedom that we long for, that we yearn for, that we seek to reach by climbing this karmic ladder somehow. It is already here, it is already in your midst. It is not somewhere to get to, for you are already it. And by coming to that realization over and over, by letting it permeate through, informing your mind, informing all these beliefs, that they are in essence wrong, that they are misplaced, misguided, that they serve that purpose, but they are no longer of service. That is the key here, to really understand, to know that experientially. And by knowing that, we can see that this is not a place to come back to necessarily, unless for the purpose of incarnating here in full knowledge, in full gnosis of our being, of truth, really, and to be able to leave at will, and to be here as a bodhisattva, as a conduit to allow other souls, other spirits, other beings to free themselves through this gnosis. That may be one reason to come back here, but at the same time, there is always the danger, you could say, of falling back into illusion. So, are you going to risk coming back here for millions of incarnations to make up for something silly? I've heard tales of people incarnating thousands of times to make up for shame or jealousy or just garbage like this. Imagine that. Imagine hundreds of lifetimes. The amounts of suffering, just the perpetual nature for something so silly as these basic emotions that are really so forgivable, being human, being conditioned by society, by parents, by peers, by freaking spirit guides. What garbage. And so I know this was quite the ramble, and I'm sure I'll have to clear things up in the future videos that are to come, but I wish that this provides you at least some insight, some skepticism, that if you decide to explore what this realm is, what the multiple dimensional layers beyond this realm are, that at least you might have some room for skepticism, some room to be able to question the validity, that this is not all love and light. This is all an illusion. So find out what is really real. Find out what is absolutely true. And remain as that, for that is all there ever is or could be, ever will be, for it absolutely is. And that cannot be mind controlled.